Your Hamilton Island experience. Oh yeah, we just mostly sat out the front of the marina waiting for the concierge to rock up.
This episode, I share how to do Hamilton Island on a yachty's budget, talking about anchorages, pricing, activities, and also useful apps and platforms exploring the island. There's no public jetties, I should say. None. Is it gonna donk our boat every roll? So there's a catch. You have to pay money when you go to Hamilton Island. Either way. Hello, this is Heidi, Zara and Josh. Follow us on our new adventure on board Sailing Catamaran Pacific Star. This episode is basically about how we planned our trip to go to Hamilton Island on a budget, on a yachty's budget, and this was from a year ago, so we have a bit more knowledge now. So I'm going to share my personal experience and how I think you can do it a bit cheaper from learning from our own personal experience. Cruising around in our catamaran, I just visualised that we could basically drop anchor at Hamilton Island and go on our merry way exploring it. But that wasn't the case at all. So September 2022, we sailed to Hamilton Island. Visiting Hamilton Island, I naturally think cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. So I had to put a game plan forward to Josh to say we can do this affordably and we'll do it over 24 hours, 48 hours. I did a bit of research, went on the Instagram, which is dangerous because obviously you see all the beautiful photos and think I'm going to drink a cocktail here with the sunset. I'm going here to have this lavish meal, and then I'm like, get back to reality. You are a yachty on a budget. So basically this is what went down. We referred to the Holy Bible, and it's great, has heaps of information. So any new anchorages we go to, Josh tends to read this first. Our go-to apps is Navionics, which is great to get A to B. The other app we use is Zulu Waterways, which is just a wealth of information. There's an offline version as well, so if you're going out to reef, it shows you like the Google Earth version of it. But a lot of yachties put anchor marks in and sharing their knowledges and their experiences from when they've stayed in a particular anchorage, and sharing information about where they can leave their tender if they're going exploring, for example. So basically there's heaps of platforms out there to source information when looking at anchorages, what you can do. I have recently learnt that Driftwood Bay, at the southern end of the island, at the end of the runway strip, so it's about southwest location, I'll show you here, has anchorage marks there from previous yachties. So when you have a look at Navionics or Zulu Waterway, people have written their own personal experiences, like taking the tender to the beach there, walking 10 minutes to the airport and catching the free shuttle bus to nearby places within Hamilton Island. So that is definitely an option. It's northerly protected. Second option is Beach 25, which is on the southwest side of Whitsunday Island. Very popular spots, particularly in race week. A lot of yachties do stay in this anchorage. The marina is completely blacked out for the month of August for the race, so there's no availability getting a berth there. There's no public jetties, I should say. None. So there's a catch. You have to pay money when you go to Hamilton Island. Either way. Okay, so if you've dropped anchor in the bays I've mentioned here, you can take your tender into the marina. You have to book 24 hours in advance because it does get quite busy there. And these are the prices here. It's a minimum of 3 hours of booking. It's quite pricey. So for a normal size tender, you're looking at $35 an hour, total of $110. So that is definitely an option. If you just need to quickly get provisions and maybe some alcohol, I have heard of people going to the fuel jetty and fueling up and putting water in their boat, and the other person running across the road, which is great because you don't have to walk far to get your provisions and fuel. There's no other way really around tying your tender up and doing a sneaky there's heaps of people in the marina working. The concierge is driving around with their ribs, so they're quite mindful and clued on. If you can get away with it, good luck. But yeah, this is probably the best option if you were planning not to go into the marina and pay the big prices to stay for a one-nighter. Fortunately for us, it was at the beginning of September. It was pretty booked out because of the end of race month, so race week I should say. So when we rang up and inquired, they basically said there was no berths available for the 2 nights we were planning to stay. So I reached out to the sailing community pages on Facebook and just put the question forward, and also did a bit of a search looking for nearby anchorages because I was so keen to go to Hamilton Island. When I went onto Facebook, I think it was the Women Who Sail Facebook page in Australia, someone mentioned that there was moorings available near Den Island. So when I was on the phone to the marina, they didn't mention any of these moorings. I've realised that there is moorings available, and I rang up the marina again. I said, look, can we use the moorings? And they were like, absolutely, they're available. It's $125 a night. And I'm thinking, shit, are these gold plated? Like, for a mooring, $125 a night, come on. Anyway, we committed. We said to them, look, can we book it in for 2 nights, which was a total of $250 Australian. We approached the mooring and they were massive, like a 44-gallon drum massive. So between the moorings near Den Island to getting into the marina, it's a 0.8 of a nautical mile trip. Rang in and we said, look, can we please come in to the marina, tie up at the jetty and just go exploring and obviously pay for the fees of the mooring usage. And they went, yeah, concierge will meet you out the front and they'll guide you into an allocated berth, because you can't just bring your tender in and tie up anywhere. Is that pretty cool? Yeah.
How was your Hamilton Island experience? Oh yeah, we just mostly just sat out the front of the marina waiting for the concierge to rock up. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Loving life.
Yeah.
You're living your best life at the moment, aren't you?
Should have just went in. Try to figure it out ourselves.
So you got marina office just up there, chandelier, and over here you got toilets, laundry, and the RGA liquor store. The golf buggy. Now, if you want to go cruising around the island, say for 4 hours, this is what we got charged here. It's gone up a little bit since last year, but not a great deal. I highly recommend pre-booking this. There was people waiting in a line just thinking they could hire a buggy on the spot, but they were rejected. So we rang up the day prior saying, can we please book a buggy? And there was no availability. So they put us on the waiting list, and on 3 occasions they contacted us saying that there was buggies available. So over the 4 hours we had the buggy, the time went really quick, right? So we went cruising around looking at all the houses and just exploring as much as possible around the island in a buggy. We went to One Tree Hill, which I would highly recommend going at night time for sunset to have a cocktail and just overlook the Whitsundays. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. We ended up going to the Bougainvillea public pool, and they had a kiosk there where you can get food and drinks. The pool was like a public pool on the beach. It was great, really kid friendly, and Zara had a blast. So we went there with the golf buggy. There's heaps of parking available. And then we ended up going to the Sails restaurant, which is based at Hamilton Resort Centre, and there's swimming pools there. There's swimming pools everywhere basically, so I figured if you're eating in the restaurant you have access to the pools. Like if you're having a drink or anything, a lot of people were using the pools, which is great. Another handy thing I will show. So I came across the Hamilton Island app, which is fantastic. It gives you food and wine, like the restaurants. It gives you what's on, a guide saying, sharing information, kids activities, if there's a live band. We noticed when we were staying there for the 2 nights, there was a live band on the grass. Could have got a picnic blanket and just had a pizza there and just enjoy the music. It was really pretty. So the Hamilton Island app is worth downloading. It gives you the shuttle bus timetables, the restaurants, swimming pools. What else does it have? Getting around, so you can actually book your golf buggy through the app. So there is timetables of sharing all activities that's hanging around the island. I found it a really useful tool. We ended up going to the Bommy deck and having a drink overlooking the sunset the night before we left. That is a pretty cool place to go sit down and just enjoy the view of the marina itself. We had 2 wins, right? When we rang up to book the mooring, we were like, all right, we'll do it for 2 nights, $125 a night. So, and the time went really quick, believe me, it went really quick. Plus I had 4 loads of washing to do, so have to make use of the facilities there. When we came across in our tender to pay at the marina office, I expressed my concerns because it's a 0.8 nautical mile trip and we had 20 knot winds coming the following day. So to take that trip in our tender, I was just a bit concerned with the current. The ladies were amazing. They actually checked on the board and noticed that there was a berth available. So they said, get off the mooring ball, we'll send a concierge over, they'll escort you into a berth, no extra charge. So that was a win. And then the second win was obviously the golf buggies, because we thought we couldn't get it and they put us on a waiting list and we were just like, it probably won't happen. And there's nothing wrong with catching free shuttle bus around town, but I just really wanted to cruise around in a golf buggy and they rang us up on 3 occasions, so we were able to cruise around on that. I reckon that was a pretty cool excursion to do. We took an esky, we packed our own drinks, and then we ate out at a few restaurants and we brought nibblies as well. So there is heaps of activities there if you want to go play golf on Dent Island or do like the mini golf. It's also Hamilton Island Wildlife Centre. We didn't pay to actually go in, but just the general sitting area, there was koalas, snakes and reptiles, which was really cool. It had a nice sitting area, you could get a coffee or an ice cream for kids. So that's a nice little place to stop by and have a look while you're walking around the island. There's wallabies around, but honestly this app is worth downloading and just getting information. That's about it. Our time there was over 2 nights and I think we roughly spent about $600. We ate out more than we did plan, but it was about the experience. The other option is, if you don't want to anchor there, leave your boat on anchor in Early Beach and ferry over. A lot of people do this and just do day trips. If we were back home in Perth going over for a family holiday for a week, it would have easily cost over $10,000 just with flights, transfer, hotels, going out on outings, hiring buggies and just going out to the reef, because obviously if you're over here you're going to want to be going out to the reef and snorkeling. So yeah, it was a really cool experience. I hope you really enjoyed this information. Let me know in the comments if you can recommend any other anchorages nearby so we can know for next time. I hope this information has been helpful because I did a lot of research. I found it quite hard and I had to source information from different platforms, and also the Hamilton Island Facebook page. They share a lot of information if you're wanting to do activities there. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Please like our video. Thank you.